Forget your plastic trays and reheated chicken. Early airplane food was a different beast.
We're talking the 1930s. Flights were an adventure for the well-heeled, and airlines knew how to cater to their clientele. Imagine this: white tablecloths, silver cutlery, stewards in crisp uniforms.
The food? Lobster, caviar, champagne flowing freely. It was about more than just sustenance. It was about status, a symbol of luxury in the golden age of aviation.
Airlines competed for the most lavish offerings. Think of it as a high-stakes game of culinary one-upmanship. This wasn't just a meal, it was an experience, a chance to rub shoulders with the elite while soaring above the clouds.
Of course, this extravagance wasn't meant to last. As air travel became more accessible, things had to change. But those early flights set the stage. They established a precedent. Airplane food, in its own way, was something to aspire to.
As the skies got more crowded, something had to give. Enter technology. Suddenly airlines could transport more passengers, but those lavish meals, they weren't feasible anymore. The 1950s saw the rise of the pressurized cabin. This meant planes could fly higher, faster, but it also meant food needed to adapt. Flavors dull at altitude, so airlines got creative. They turned to science. They experimented with pre-cooked meals, flash freezing, and new packaging techniques. The result, the familiar foil trays and pre-portioned meals we know today. Sure, it wasn't lobster thermidor, but it was efficient, it was affordable, and it allowed airlines to keep up with the growing demand for air travel. The evolution didn't stop there. Microwave ovens, convection ovens, each innovation brought new possibilities. Airlines could offer hot meals, even at 30,000 feet. It wasn't always pretty, but it was progress. And let's not forget about the drinks cart. That little mobile bar became a symbol of the in-flight experience, a chance to unwind, socialize, and maybe enjoy a miniature bottle of something strong. Ever wonder about the magic behind those airplane meals? It's a world of precision and planning. A tightly choreographed dance between chefs, logistics experts, and cabin crew.
It all starts in massive kitchens. Think industrial-sized ovens, conveyor belts loaded with trays. Hundreds of chefs work around the clock, chopping, cooking, plating thousands of meals per day.
But it's not just about quantity. Airlines are increasingly focused on quality. Fresh ingredients, regional specialties. Even celebrity chef collaborations are becoming the norm.
Once prepared, the meals are chilled, packaged, and loaded onto trucks. Timing is crucial. These meals need to arrive at the airport and be loaded onto planes within a tight window.
Then comes the final act, reheating and serving at 30,000 feet. It's a testament to the skill of flight attendants that they can manage this delicate dance in such a confined space.
It's easy to take airplane food for granted, but next time you're on a flight, take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale and complexity of this global culinary operation.
Remember when flying was special, when the anticipation of an airplane meal was almost as exciting as the destination itself? Let's take a trip down memory lane.
Back in the day, certain dishes were practically synonymous with air travel. The classic chicken Kiev, oozing with garlic butter. The comforting beef stew, simmered to tender perfection. And who could forget the iconic ice cream sundae, a delightful treat served in a miniature plastic dish.
These weren't just meals, they were cultural touchstones, symbols of a bygone era when flying was a luxury reserved for the few.
Sure, they might not have always been gourmet, but they were familiar, they were comforting, and they evoke a certain nostalgia for a time when air travel was a little more glamorous.
These days, airlines are constantly innovating, trying to outdo each other with fancy ingredients and trendy dishes. But there's something to be said for the classics. They remind us that sometimes the simplest pleasures are the most satisfying.